Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's SS454LS6 here, and guess what's finally showing up? I got my drive shaft in from Denny's Driveshaft. Now the delay was not because of Denny's at all. In fact, they said they had a 5-week wait time, but Denny's expedited the process for me, so I'm really happy about that. This is a 3.5-inch Nitrous ready, which is steel, and it's quite heavy. 22.5 pounds versus the aluminum one, which is 14.4 pounds. So, I still think I could have gotten away with an aluminum, but heck, I mean, it twisted, it bent, and Denny's was adamant to go with this. So, I mean, he's a smart guy, so I'm gonna stick with what he says. Also, he made me get the Mark Williams slip yoke, and again, he gave me a good deal on it. So, super big thanks to Denny's for hooking me up. Customer service is awesome. Can't say enough good things about them. As for the gear oil, as you can see, I have went with the Lucas conventional 80W90 because I'm running the Detroit True Track. They say you can get 3 bottles into a Moser 12 bolt. It's not even close on mine. I got like 2.5 of sort of guzzling out the fill plug. So. But still, you need to get 3 bottles. Brakes and whatnot are all whatever bled. If you can see that, ATE Type 200 always. Just because I do some road racing and I want to keep the brake fluid from boiling. So I got to get this drive shaft in. Unfortunately, UPS screwed me over, and as you can see, it is raining all day. It's been good, and they waited to the last possible minute to deliver it, which was already 2 days late. So thanks UPS, really appreciate that. But yeah, we can get it in, and I'm looking forward to breaking the diff in and actually driving this thing this summer, which we haven't had a summer. It's been nothing but basically rain. So let's hope for the best for the rest of the summer that I have. So I took the new 12 bolt out for a test drive. I did the proper break-in procedure as per Moser's instructions, and I found that at higher speeds, particularly around 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, there's a really loud howl. Seems to be coming from the rear end. We're gonna tear it apart and see what we can find. Also, I found that there's a clunk, and it's noticeable around first and second gear, but if I move that, you can see the pinion is not moving at all, the ring gear. That suggests that there is play in the True Track limited slip. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I can feel that, like I said, in first and second gear when I'm just driving around. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can make some adjustments and hopefully cure some of the problems. So we just ran a pattern on the gears to get a baseline to what it's like. It doesn't look that bad, but it doesn't look as good as the way Moser had it. So we're just gonna see what it's like. Here it is on both sides. So we'll see what we can do with the backlash and see if we can do a little improvement on it. So when checking your backlash, you wanna have your dial indicator 90 degrees to the tooth, and then you can zero out your gauge and check it. So as you can see, we checked it in 4 different spots and we got 8 to 10 thousandths, which is actually in spec to Moser. But we're going to still do a little shimming and moving the pinion that way. So hopefully we can get a little bit better pattern. So we decided to take a measurement for the pinion depth, and to do that, we built this little tool to get a straight edge across, and then we first got our depth to the pinion, and then we got our depth to the where the bearing cap's going on to, like so, and then you just subtract that measurement from the big one, and we came out with 2.858. Okay guys, this is the lowdown on the differential and where I stand right now. I mentioned that the diff is howling, and it starts around 35 miles an hour. It gets worse around 60 miles an hour, so 60 to 100K. And it's enough that I don't like it. My old diff never made a peep. I've driven with other people's vehicles and other 12 bolts from Moser, and again, silent as it can be, haven't heard a sound. And there are some that will say that performance gears make noise. I don't buy it. Otherwise, everybody's 12 bolt that has a performance gear in it will make noise. And that's just not the case. I mean, maybe the pro gears do, but not these street strip gears. So I just think that's a cop-out answer to try to make the customer feel like it's normal, which I don't think it is. So took it to a shop there, and we took it apart, as you saw, and we checked everything. Little background, those that remember, the diff came wrong. It wasn't powder coated, so the whole thing had to be disassembled and then powder coated and reassembled by a, from what I know, a qualified technician here in the city. And I thought maybe they did a piss poor job putting it back together, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I would say they put it together correctly. And so, you know, we checked everything. There was 10 thou of backlash. We tightened that up a bit to 7 thou. We added a smidge more preload in it, but not very much, just to try something. And the noise is still there. It still howls. Might be at a little different speed now, but it still howls. So, yeah, I don't like it. So, yeah, whatever. It's just been some bad luck on this thing. Like, what can I say? It's a bit of a kick in the nuts, to be honest with you. I did contact US Gear and Moser. I haven't heard back from them yet. One thing I did discover, because I threw some pictures on the internet, and these gear gurus noticed that there's like a line in the tooth. I'll post a picture up here that shows you what I'm talking about. But I've compared my pattern with other patterns out there, and everybody seems to have a real nice, consistent, you know, mating surface or whatever on the teeth, and mine has a distinct line. It might even be considered 2 lines. So I don't know if it's a high spot or a low spot or whatever, but it doesn't seem to be normal. So I'm waiting to hear back from US Gear and Moser, and maybe I can get some answers. But maybe it's a faulty pinion, ring and pinion. And in any case, I have a very strong feeling this thing's coming out, because I'm not dealing with a noisy diff that shouldn't be. It should be running smoothly. Huge thanks to Andrew that helped me take out the differential and make the adjustments. I know it took a long time, but we ran into a whole bunch of problems. But so it was kind of frustrating. But we got it sorted, and you know, we tried a whole bunch of things. We took a whole bunch of measurements and everything, and so yeah, huge thanks to you and anybody out there. You know, seriously, hit the thumbs up for good friends. You know, that's big. The True Track diff, honestly, it's a little clunky. So first gear, second gear, when I go from accel to abrupt decel, just let off, I hear a clunk, and it feels like, and it seems like it's coming from the diff. And I noticed that my True Track has a lot of play, which some people say is normal. Some people says theirs doesn't do it at all. But yeah, mine feels clunky, and it doesn't feel as smooth in the corners as the old Eaton Posse did. And that's not a knock against the True Track. I'd probably, if I was to do it again, I'd still order the same thing. But in my experience so far, it doesn't feel quite as smooth as what I had before. But, you know, that's kind of the situation that I'm in, which kind of sucks, but, you know, I'll see if I can get any time. Beautiful day out there today, which is one of the rare ones, so let's go for a drive. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound that I'm talking about, because passengers have said they don't hear it quite like I do, but we all, you know, when we own the car, we always hear noises that we didn't hear before much more than anybody else. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but yeah, let's go for a drive and enjoy the day. As for the drivability with 391 gears, there's not a huge difference when you're just kind of putting around. It gets off the line better, obviously. I'd say a little bit less clutch chatter than I had before. It goes through first gear a lot quicker, so you're kind of middle of an intersection and shifting. But truthfully, I prefer the 331s when I'm just, you know, just for cruising around. But when it comes to acceleration, I haven't gone on it yet because it's still in the braking period for the diff. And but I have noticed a difference in acceleration. Well, kind of through all the gears, but third and fourth are no longer as kind of pitiful as they used to be. I don't know if you can hear that howl, but we're doing 67 kilometers an hour. Again, if you on any kind of throttle, it doesn't really do it. 70K. Woo! Anybody want to listen to that all day? I don't think so. So currently doing 100 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. I'm at 1900 RPM, so it did pick up a little bit of RPM, which is to be expected going from 390 or 331 to 390. 331 to 390. I'm distracted from the howl. So 70 miles an hour, it's just over 2,000 RPMs, maybe 2,100. So livable, I guess. Definitely a lot better than just having a 4-speed. Of course, no video is good without at least some acceleration. And with that, hit the like button, subscribe if you can.